So glad you are tuned in on this Thursday because we're spicing up your date night with fun and flirty role-playing with that special someone.
Owner of Faithful Fling and role-play expert Katie Runyon is joining us to rekindle the flame of love. Welcome, Katie.
Thank you.
Okay, when I saw the words Faithful Fling, I thought, what is this? This is actually the cutest idea for you and your spouse.
We love it. Yes, we decided to name it Faithful Fling because all of our fun and flirty role-play dates are going to be between just you and your spouse, and then we wanted to apply a fun word for your date night, so we came up with fling. It's perfect.
All right, Katie, why role play?
Why not, right? Why don't you just, it's really fun to kind of step into a different role sometimes and go on a date with your spouse, and you get to push aside maybe mommy mode for a little bit. It was hard for me to kind of turn that switch and go ahead and turn it into like a fun, flirty mode. And going into a role play date was a really great way to do it. It adds a lot of spark, curiosity, adventure, new memories.
So how would you describe what that date is? And is this something where you are given those characters, you are given some maybe cues to help spark your creativity?
So we love to say that we do all the work, so you have all the fun. So we'll give you character development, location ideas, dialogue suggestions, all sorts of things like that. We'll give you tips and tricks on how to get into character, and a little bit of a spicy option too for those that want to steam it up.
Well, Katie, you say this is subscription based. This is a website that gives you the idea, but you want to make monogamy hot.
Absolutely.
Because you get in a rut.
You do. And our whole idea is just to break you out of your typical routine. Try something new. I know we'll keep saying it over and over, but getting out of that routine can be really, really impactful.
Give us a little bit of feedback, what people are saying so far. Now, you started this about 18 months ago.
Yes.
And what are women and men saying who experience?
It's really fun because sometimes you are a pursuer in the role play, and maybe that's a little bit different in your dynamic, and that can be really fun for the husband to be like, oh my goodness, I never thought my wife would be so fun and kind of pursue me a little bit. So that's really fun. Maybe you will be going on a blind date that has like this outrageous instant attraction, or a
It looks so fun, and I think that there's a deeper element to this too. When you say maybe you are typically the pursuer or not, if you're changing those roles, you're going to learn, I think, something deeper about your connection.
Yeah, right, and we do. We're just trying to build connection here.
Okay, so Katie, Dina's an actress, but for the rest of us out there, how do we get into character?
Well, Dina, when you go into character, probably one of the first things you do is you change up your look a little bit, right?
That's helpful, yes.
And then it's just a little costume. And being confident helps, recognizing that you and your spouse are in your same team and you're wanting to have an enjoyable connecting experience. But we have several props that we do.
Okay, so everything from makeup to lashes to glasses.
And
that just changes it up.
It does. Now all of a sudden you just have a little bit different and a different look, and maybe you feel a little different.
Your attitude gets a little different.
You just shimmy your shoulders, right?
Differently. But you also said dialect, so maybe Nisha now tries out an accent.
Bonjour.
Oh, yes, nailed it. Nailing it.
Also,
Will you give us a little example of what one of the situations might be?
Sure. One of the scenarios could be, it's called a test drive, and somebody's going to go take a car on a test drive, and you just basically have you as yourself, you're becoming a new character. Her name is Indy, and your husband is the car dealership owner, and you guys have a cute little a test drive route that you go on, and then you're just on a date, and you kind of play with some flirty words and jokes on your date night throughout. It's really fun. We also incorporate a ton of surprises that you can do for your role play date night with your spouse as well.
Why use Faithful Fling and not just come up with these ideas on your own?
Because we really do all the work for you, right? So one of the best parts is that we have, when you become a member of Faithful Fling, you have your own username and password, and your spouse does, and that keeps this level of intrigue and mystery.
Okay, wait a second. Why not have it together?
Well, because you are able to create these sexy surprises that you're going to weave together into the night.
And they have no idea. They have no idea.
Yes, because oftentimes we don't have that anticipation in long-term committed relationships. That can be lost a little
that's
bit.
the fun. You have that element of surprise, and you're out on the adventure of what's going to happen next. What do you say to get people just to try this? Because I'm sure sometimes they're going to say, I feel silly, I don't know how to do this. How do you just let go of the inhibitions?
Well, go ahead and decide together that you want to try something that you might not be really that great at, and being vulnerable can be super connecting, but just recognizing that you're on the same team, and you know what? You never know unless you try.
If you spice up your relationship, what's the harm, everybody? Give it a try. Faithful Fling is offering a free 21-day trial, but you get an extra free role play date if you put the code GOODTHINGS in when signing up for a membership. So go take a peek, faithfulfling.com. They're on Instagram, and now there's a link on our website at abc4.com/GTU. I feel like you have this in the bag. I'm gonna need to work. I'm gonna work a little bit.
Look, we can
on
even
my role playing.
We can change hair color. I'm going to be blonde while I ask Saray what's still ahead on the show.
I'm a pilot.
I think that suits you.